So I did something last night that I usually don't do. I sat through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. See, usually with me, the way I manage to watch Raw is I usually watch it for 2 hours. At 10 o'clock, I shut it down. For those of you who don't know, I do have two jobs. And one of my jobs, I got to get up at 3 in the morning. So because of that, I usually just watch 2 hours of Raw. And if I'm lucky enough, I'll catch the highlights whenever I can. Or if not, I'll wait for the Hulu version of Raw to just rewatch it and stuff like that, whatever. But I decided last night to make an exception. You know what? I'm going to sit through 3 hours of Raw because everyone last night was talking about Bobby Lashley. In case you don't know, last night during Monday Night Raw, Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, the CEO of the Hurt Business, is now the WWE World Champion. He defeated The Miz in the main event of Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania. It is crazy to think that I'm even saying that. Bobby Lashley is WWE Champion. Early in the day, everyone on Twitter yesterday was saying, it's Lashley's time. I can't wait to watch. That's crazy. Usually, when I go on Twitter and I see people tweet about Monday Night Raw, it's usually, oh my God, I got to sit through all this crap. I got to sit through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. This is going to be a chore. Get the coffee ready. And when Raw even happens, it's a lot of negativity toward Monday Night Raw. And that's just the way that it is, whether you want to admit it or not. So I've seen everyone talking about Bobby Lashley, how 17 years in the making, it's going to happen. Finally, he deserves this moment. He's come a long way. I've even read people tweeting about saying that, watch the screw job happen today. Watch WWE fuck this shit up. And let's be honest here. If you watched last night Monday Night, and by the way, this is not a Raw review. I am not about to sit here and review what I thought, honestly, other than the opening match between Drew and Sheamus and the ending of Raw. I thought everything in between just felt meh. I'll say this, though. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, the MVP of the show was The Miz. Say what you want about Miz. Oh, he's undeserving champion. This is a joke. He's terrible. Transitional champion. All the fuck you want. But The Miz last night, for me, was the MVP of the show. Believe it or not. And I'll leave that to you guys. Give me your thoughts on that and all that fun hippity hoopla. But it was going to happen finally, right? Bobby Lashley, his moment. And again, 17 years in the fucking making. 17 years in the fucking making, and here it is. And yeah, so Bobby Lashley, the MVP, told Miz that, hey, you have until 9 p.m. at the beginning of the hour, right? 9 o'clock, Bobby Lashley and The Miz, WWE Championship. Miz has to, I guess, pay back the favor that Lashley did at Chamber by beating up Drew and allowing Miz to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, which, again, depending who you talk to, they will tell you that should have been gone a long time ago. It was stupid. It was dumb of them to give Miz the briefcase back and all that stuff. What happened at, I think it was TLC. I could be wrong on that, but it is what it is. So here we are, right? And again, they made you wait. They made you fucking wait. The opening match happened. It was Drew and Sheamus going at it, which, again, I thought overall was a fun match. Back and forth, two guys that know each other for a long time, that are good friends, beating the fuck out of each other. But at the same time, I'm watching that, I'm like, wait a minute, why is this not at Fastlane? You think about it, right? And I know I'm going off topic right now, but fuck it, just bear with me here, okay? Bear the fuck with me. We're having Drew McIntyre and Sheamus going at it. Sheamus ruined basically their friendship that they had for years, right? And you would think Drew wants revenge, right? He wants revenge at Bobby Lashley. He wants revenge at The Miz. And more importantly, he wants revenge over or against Sheamus, even though, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have a match a couple of weeks ago? after the whole heel turn happened. I could be wrong on that, but it is what it is. And now here we go. And they're going at it. I'm like, this could have been put on the pay-per-view. But they didn't do that. But again, they just needed to prolong everything, right? They were going to make you wait. And boy, did they. Right? Drew won. It is what it is. We go into now the championship match. Right? Finally. Out comes Bobby Lashley. And they're talking about, 17 years in the making. You think about it, bro. It's 17 fucking years. I remember when this dude showed up in 2006 to WWE. He was built like a fucking, you kind of get the idea, right? And he wins the U.S. title. He was in the finale of the King of the Ring where he lost to King Booker, back then Booker T, then became King Booker. And there was that momentum, that push for him, right? He went to ECW. He was part of the whole McMahon versus Trump battle of the billionaires, right? We all remember that clip on ECW where he ran into the cage and the side of the whole cage just fell on Umaga. We remember that, right? This guy's been around for so long. And then he had his championship match with Cena. And after that, he was gone, right? But it's someone that you looked at like, you know what? He has that look that they were looking for at the time. And he, again, I'll get into his history stuff in a little bit. But yes, 17 years in the fucking making. And they keep referencing that on commentary. So then you wait for The Miz to come out. But there's no Miz. There is no WWE champion. You find out that he's laying there on the floor. Apparently he has cramps. Stomach cramp or some shit like that. Right? And you just see the look in Bobby's face. Just, he couldn't wait no more. He was furious. I would be too. This is the biggest match of his life. Per se, right? Listen, when you're wrestling for a championship, it's supposed to be a fucking big deal. I don't care what title it is. So then Lashley goes to the back. You see Adam Pearce talking with Miz. Hey, listen, I don't care if I have to carry you out. But you're going to have 1 hour. At 10 o'clock, you're defending that championship against Bobby Lashley. At 10 o'clock. Top of the hour. So they made you wait. And yet they added more shit to the show, right? I believe it was Braun and Adam Pearce versus the fucking Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin for the Raw Tag Team titles. I think also you had Mustafa Ali and Matt Riddle going at it. Non-title match. And Riddle lost to Mustafa Ali with help of Retribution. I'm basically telling you what happened between the show. What they had to do to make you wait for the inevitable, right? So we get to the 10 o'clock hour, and again, out comes Lashley, right? MVP's in his cane, right? And Miz comes out, but before the bell even rings, he wants to talk to Lashley. Hey, listen, this is supposed to be a big deal. This is, again, for the WWE Championship. Again, even though Miz did say earlier, hey, it should be him as the champion going into WrestleMania for PR and media and traveling and stuff like that, even though we're in a pandemic, but it is what it is, right? And again, you think about it, Miz is that guy. He is the kind of guy that you will put out there for media and all that stuff. He does have a reality show, but he's not what people want as WWE champion. But he plays his character very fucking well, to a T. So he comes out, he's talking about how this match should happen at WrestleMania. If you're Lashley, you want to have this moment at WrestleMania, right? Where he challenges The Miz for the WWE title. Because again, if you're The Miz, you want to go into WrestleMania as the WWE champion. You do not want to lose, which you are going to lose, obviously. He did, to Bobby Lashley on Monday Night Raw in the middle of the road to WrestleMania. We still got to go through Fastlane and then it's WrestleMania, but you kind of get the idea. So the bell rings. Lashley wasn't having it. Nor MVP. Like, it was right there right now. The bell rings. Miz grabs the championship and hauls ass. Like, he literally runs. The WWE champion, who was the chicken shit heel, just hauls ass. It's like when your girlfriend tells you that she wants these shoes, right? And you promise her that you're going to buy them for her, but you don't really want to do it, but you don't know how to get out of it, so you just haul ass, basically. Or when she tells you that you're not splitting the bill on the first date, which, honestly, guys, if you are going to go on a first date with a girl, you pay the bill. Just saying. But again, it is what it is. That's how Miz is hauled ass. When they told him, it's as if they told him his plan for the championship and he just hauled ass. Your WWE champion dipped. And Lashley was furious again. He wins by countout, right? And we all know about by countout, right? Lashley wins, but he doesn't win the championship. So everyone on Twitter, oh, this is bullshit. This is a disgrace. They fucked over Lashley. And again, let's be honest here. Again, I'm gonna say this again. There was that big possibility that I think a lot of us were waiting for WWE to fuck this shit up. And at that moment, you literally thought, oh boy, these fuckers fucked this whole shit up. I even posted a tweet that I posted the clip of me saying, you've been worked. That video on Twitter, I posted it when that happened. Because again, at the time, everyone was expecting Lashley to win. But again, it's Monday Night Raw, it's WWE. You can't trust this creative team. You can't even trust them. I want to trust them watching my fucking PS4 control. You think I'm going to allow this creative team to fucking watch this show and think, oh my God, they can make something happen here? With their track record? Fuck no. So, that happens, right? And again, Lashley's mad. MVP backstage shouts out, this is bullshit. During a PG era, they didn't even censor it. Shane McMahon tells Lashley, hey, listen, this is not going to go down like this tonight. You're going to get your championship match. And if Miz doesn't take part in this match, then he will forfeit his WWE championship. He'll be stripped from the championship. And again, that's where Miz backstage talks about the importance of having Miz as WWE champion heading into WrestleMania, like I mentioned before. But again, they made you wait. And they even had the countdown on the lower third of the screen on the show. Throughout everything that happened in between, again, like I mentioned, with Retribution and Riddle and Bad Bunny and Elias and Damian Priest, Charlotte and Shayna with Asuka and all this stuff, they had that timer. They had it. And then we get to the end of the show. The end. It's like, what, 3 minutes or so left on the show? Like, you would think, okay, 11 o'clock, this shit's over. Okay? And out comes Lashley again, furious. Miz comes out with doubt. He comes out with doubt and shit. And he's, again, in a way, he wants to leave, but then Shane is like, well, listen, it's not going to go down this way. To make sure of it, we're going to put lumberjacks outside the ring. So it's a lumberjack match, basically, as your main event of Monday Night Raw for the WWE Championship. Yet all these people come out, members of Retribution, which, again, it is what it is. Jeff Hardy, to name a few, R-Truth. They even had Braun Strowman. The same Braun Strowman who lost to Bobby Lashley the week before on Monday Night Raw. And if you're Braun Strowman, hey, you'd think, hey, maybe there's a possibility that Braun Strowman might get involved in this match and cost Lashley the championship. Because again, Lashley beat Braun Strowman the week before. So there's that too. And I was thinking that because they, throughout this entire match, right, they pointed the camera multiple times at Braun Strowman. And I'm not sure if I was the only one that felt that, hey, you know what? It's going to happen, right? Miz tried to get out of the ring. They threw him back in multiple times. Lashley finally caught him. He literally lifted him up from his stomach with one hand and dropped him like he was pancakes almost. And it's like, okay, you're waiting for the spear or something, right? But at the same time, he's standing around by Braun Strowman. I'm like, it's going to happen. Here come the fuckery. But instead of going for the spear, he locks in the Hurt Lock onto the Miz and Miz finally taps out. And there was that. Lashley wins the WWE Championship after 17 years of being in the company, or being in the wrestling business. Let me correct myself here, because there was a time that he left WWE, went to Impact Wrestling, wrestled on the independents, pursued a career in mixed martial arts in Bellator, Elite XC, I think also Strikeforce back in the day, right? Just to make it to this moment, right? And again, it's deservingly so. He deserves it. 100%. 100% deserves it. I'm happy for him. I think everyone is. I think it was cool, too, to see the entire community unify as one out of joy, if you will, for seeing Bobby Lashley fulfill his dream. No one's taking this away from him. No one. Absolutely not. Right? And it's one of the things, again, you think about all the stuff this guy's been through. Where he's been, all the titles that he's won. I just think it's funny as hell, too, that Impact Wrestling on their Twitter handle, right, on their Twitter, posted a video package of all of Lashley's World Championship wins minutes before the match even happened with The Miz on Raw. Whoever runs that Impact Wrestling Twitter account, bravo you. Bravo you. So, now that Bobby Lashley's WWE champion, and again, I did enjoy the promo backstage. It was on your YouTube channel. All the members of the Hurt Business together. Shelton telling Lashley to take that championship to his family, let his kids play with it and all that stuff. And that's, again, it's cool to hear. It is. It really, really is. You think about it, right? All members of the Hurt Business, right? What were they doing before being part of the Hurt Business? Right? Lashley, he was in this whole love angle with Lana and Rusev. Remember that shit? Remember the wedding? How terrible that was? And Rusev came out of the cake, and so did freaking Liv Morgan, and that little rivalry that went nowhere. Made no fucking sense. Right? He was just being just broken goods, if you will. Look at someone like Cedric Alexander, who was main eventing on Main Event. He was in that tag team with Ricochet that you thought had something going, okay, but they did nothing with them. And look at Shelton Benjamin, who's been around for so long, right? And they just had him jobbing out. I remember Rumble 2020, he shows up, he's in the ring with Brock, and it's like, yeah, they're going to team up, they're teasing it, and then Brock throws him out like he was nothing. And look at all of them now. Look at all of them. Shelton and Cedric are the tag team champions of Monday Night Raw. And now Lashley is the WWE champion. And again, you can sit there and say thank you to MVP, and that's likely so. MVP, I swear to God, should receive the Warrior Award for saving these three men's careers. And yes, again, he's a good mouthpiece. And that's also important, I think, also. It's important as well. But this is, again, it's awesome to see, again, someone like Bobby who's been there for so long, in and out, and now he has his moment. And more importantly, heading into WrestleMania. Let that sink in. Bobby Lashley is walking into WrestleMania 37, likely night 1, because night 2, Roman is closing the show, as WWE champion. On the biggest show of the year. And likely, listen, this is what I see happening. I predict at Fastlane, we're going to get The Miz versus Bobby Lashley. And I guess if you want to add Drew, go ahead. I mean, if you really want to. But I don't see that happening either. But likely, you know what? Let's do Miz and Lashley. I want to believe now, because they did pipe in the babyface reaction for Lashley when he won the championship, that Bobby Lashley is a babyface. That's what I want to believe here. But I believe, honestly, and again, the main event, and I know this is something that people may not want to hear, right? I do believe that I said this on Sunday's show. The main event of night 1 of WrestleMania is Bobby Lashley defending the WWE Championship versus Drew McIntyre. Now, listen, is it everyone's cup of tea for a main event? Absolutely not. I think those two guys will have a fun match. Absolutely. Does it scream out WrestleMania main event? No, it does not. 100% does not. I mean, I don't know what is the status of Brock Lesnar. There's talks of Brock, but I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. So, to me, the likely scenario is Bobby and Drew. Miz is probably going to go back into that program with Bad Bunny, with John Morrison and Damian Priest. I don't know if you guys remember, but at Chamber, Bad Bunny did slap the taste out of the Miz. But that's besides the point. The important thing here is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Now, I did say on Sunday's show, hey, and there's a possibility they might do that. There's a possibility that, hey, because Drew McIntyre last year's WrestleMania did not have his rightful moment because, again, of COVID, the pandemic started and all that stuff. They had to do the event inside of a warehouse. That this time, because there's going to be fans in the stadium, right? You're going to want to give Drew his rightful WrestleMania entrance, his rightful WrestleMania moment in front of a crowd. I think the fact that he's in a championship match alone is good enough. I think you do the match and you have Bobby win. That's what I think. But we'll see what they're going to do. Again, this is the road to WrestleMania. This is, if you are a content creator, if you are a podcaster, if you are a YouTuber that covers pro wrestling, this is probably the most wonderful time of the year to get your shit out there, push out your content, whatever it is that you do. All right? But I ask you guys this question. Give me your thoughts in the comment threads below. What do you see happening with the WWE title? What are your thoughts on Bobby Lashley finally getting his moment? It'll have fun stuff. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HeelSteven. I'll be back this Friday live for a live edition of Around the Point, likely at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, as we will be predicting AEW Revolution and all that fun stuff. So again, I encourage you guys, hit the subscribe button, give this video a big old thumbs up, hit the bell icon, be notified when I upload a video, when I go live and all that stuff. I'm also going to push this out to the podcasting feeds as well, because why the fuck not? After all, this is a Around the Point extra. So there's that too. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day, a wonderful week as we're going through this and all that fun stuff. Hopefully you're all safe, and I will see you guys down the road, likely Friday, for the stream. This has been a Around the Point extra. I am Steve, and I'm out. Peace out, y'all.